Hello everyone, this is the Final Bosman, and on today's episode, I am not getting worked up! Welcome to the show. I am Kyle Bosman, and this week, I'm trying to keep my cool. Because this show has always been about my feelings about video games. Sometimes I just want to talk about something I like. I like Guitar Man. Here's a whole episode about it. I like this new 3DS commercial. Here's a whole episode about it. But sometimes I get riled up. Something gets under my sheets and it really bugs me. And, it just happens. So one day I'll be sitting at my cubicle. Michael Huber will peek through that little crack in between our cubicles and he'll say, "Bosman, did you hear? 900p. And I'll say, "What are you talking about?" And he'll say, "Assassin's Creed Unity is going to be 900p on Xbox One and PS4. And I'll say, "That's weird." Huber nods and says, "They said we decided to lock them at the same specs to avoid all the debates." I wince. Huber's not done. "And stuff." And that's the moment. And stuff is the moment that I get riled up. To avoid all the debates and stuff? What do you think this is? Nick Jr.? Hi there, Face here. This week's episode, the 3 reasons why I'm totally cool with this 900p situation. Reason number 1, game developers shouldn't have to think about pixels. So by the way, the origins of this quote, this whole thing, it all comes from an interview videogamer.com had, if you think I just said the word, you thought I said I did not. I said the word video gamer, that is one word. Videogamer.com had an interview with Assassin's Creed Unity senior producer, Vincent Pontbriand. Basically, this interview, the purpose of it was to sort of defensively explain why Assassin's Creed Unity will not be 1080p, 60 frames per second, as was originally intended. Basically, he states, "We were quickly bottlenecked by the CPUs, and it was a bit frustrating because we thought that this was going to be a 10-fold improvement over everything AI-wise, and we realized it was going to be pretty hard. It's not the number of polygons that affect the frame rate. We could be running at 100 FPS if it was just graphics, but because of AI, we're still limited to 30 frames per second." So there's the math, everybody. Assassin's Creed Unity is going to be 2 to 9 times an improvement of AI over what you'll see in Assassin's Creed Rogue. And you're lucky to have that on your underpowered little garbage box, as you like to call the Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Game designers should be concerned about AI, not the number that comes before P. Well, what do you think this is? Eureka's Castle? Do you want a big green dragon to come and explain this to you? Here's Batley. Number 2, Ubisoft already clarified that Pontbriand is lying. So this interview with videogamer.com blew up, understandably. They wisely decided to put the most inflammatory quote as the headline. And so, yeah, it got picked up in a lot of places. And so then Ubisoft had to put out a release to Kotaku, which states, "We understand how senior producer Vincent Pontbriand's quotes have been misinterpreted. To set the record straight, we did not lower the specs for Assassin's Creed Unity to account for any one system over the other. Assassin's Creed Unity has been engineered from the ground up for next-generation consoles. Over the past 4 years, we have created Assassin's Creed Unity to attain the tremendous level of quality we have now achieved on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. It's a process of building up toward our goals, not scaling down, and we're proud to say that we have reached those goals on all SKUs. At no point did we decide to reduce the ambitions of any SKU. All benefited from the full dedication of all of our available optimization resources to help them reach the level of quality we have today with the core Assassin's Creed Unity experience." I turned into the ESPN guy a few times in there. So there you have it. Pontbriand was lying. All those things he said about wanting tenfold of the AI, no, those were lies. And when he said, "Oh, we're going for parity to avoid all that drama," no, that was a lie. Don't worry. That was a lie. Trust us. Ubisoft. You might say, Kyle, hold on a second. I think you might be breezing past this. I think that maybe it's possible that this is just damage control. Maybe this guy, Vincent Pontbriand, was just being candid with a smaller website. And Ubisoft, this large company, is doing damage control to a much larger website. To which I would say you are completely right. You're completely right. That is exactly what this is. Ubisoft, what are you doing? I get that you have to sell a game this fall. I get that when we're playing this game, you don't want us to be thinking, wow, I wonder how much better this could be if the creator's vision was fully achieved. However, this is a real load. This whole thing, these 3 paragraphs, it's a real stinky load. What do you think this is? Gullah Gullah Island? You think we're binya binya pollywog? Like we're just gonna smile about this and hop away? Not today. Keep it cool, Kyle. Keep it cool. Whew. Number 3, seriously, enough debates and stuff. So, funny thing about debates and stuff. I consider this show to be debates and stuff. My job is debates and stuff. I'll tell you a story. I remember 1 year ago, before my job was debates and stuff, I was in the office of my boss, Jeremy. And what had happened was, before the PlayStation 4 reveal, I did a video. I did this do's and don'ts video. It was very popular. It was probably more views than I'll ever get on a single video ever again. It was cool. And so the PlayStation 4 was revealed, and I was asking permission to do a response, a follow-up. And Jeremy said, yeah, of course. Yeah, here's what I'm thinking. You are a force for good. Marcus Beer, he's cynical. He's angry. He fits on this end of the spectrum. You are a beacon of positivity. So don't be too critical. And I guess I can just be honest now. I've never wanted to be a beacon of positivity. I am far too depressed for that. I'm happy to be positive sometimes, but I'm a human being, baby. I have layers. And so I did it. I did my response video, and it was highly critical. Basically, I made fun of a lot of things. I made fun of how much time Sony spent on explaining this unique feature in which you will be able to hop into your friend's game and help him or her out with any part that he or she is having problems with. And this whole, because we've acquired Gaikai, we will give you access to hundreds of old PlayStation games. And just, Infamous Second Son was so serious, and how the first PlayStation 4 game anyone would ever see for this new next generation console was Knack. They chose Knack. And sure, some of the people did not dig that. There were comments that said, this tool bag is a Xbox fanboy. However, the large response was extremely positive to my critique, and it is the reason why I still get to do this today. Why I bring this up is that debates and stuff are going to happen, but they don't all have to be angry. There are good ways to have debates and stuff. And so, Mr. Pontbriand, that's the first time I got that right without looking down at my paper. Very proud of myself. Mr. Pontbriand, look, it's probably clear to you now that maybe you caused more debates and stuff than you would have if you gave a slight advantage to the PlayStation 4. I'm sure that's clear to you now. But in case you missed the lesson, here it is. There are going to be debates and stuff, no matter what. That's bound to happen. However, it is your tone and it is your attitude that affects how dangerous those debates and stuff can be. The way you said, we're doing this to avoid debates and stuff, is condescending. To us, you are saying that you are different. You are saying that the people who buy your video games that you make are a different kind of person than you are, and they are a bickering bunch. And you know what? Maybe it's best not to give them any ammunition. They won't care. Those fools who make my job possible. Here's some advice for in the future, if you ever have to explain it again. Both versions of the game will be 900p because that is faster and cheaper, baby. Sunglasses down, lean back, fold arms, wink. Sunglasses are on, so you missed the wink. Anyway, that's the episode for this week. If you're on Twitter, you can find me at Kyle Bosman. I've not tweeted in like a week. It's hard for me to get, it's like doing crunches. It's really hard to get back into it for me. I have a tweet that I've been, let's workshop this. I have a tweet, I know this can work. It's like, you know the word spooktacular? I feel like there's like a, hey, we got a Halloween spooktacular. That you hear that a lot more than you hear like, hey, you're invited to a spectacular. So it's weird to me that we use the pun more than we use the root of the pun. So there's nugget there. I'm doing close to spooktacular, but a second ago I was doing spooktacularly well. That's something like, I don't know. Anyway, I will be back here next Wednesday somehow. Somehow I get to keep doing this. I hope to see you then. Thanks for watching. Everyone, so last Friday I flew to Rhode Island for a wedding, a cousin's wedding. Lots of Bosmans. Anyway, I was at the airport. I was waiting to get on my plane, and there was a woman behind me talking on the phone very loudly. And it's one of those conversations you overhear where at first you're bored by it, nothing, you don't want to hear any of this. But then you hear some words, and suddenly you're very interested. What happened was she was saying things like, Bart is on a quest. We got a new weapon for Bart. No, he looks like a warrior. He looks so like, do you remember how we had to fight that one warlock, but then this was before we discovered that you have to say his name backwards? Well, it was like that. Okay, goodbye. I'll see you in 3 weeks. I love you. No, Homer's on a quest. Yeah, no, I sent Homer on a quest. I can send him back if you want. Baby, I love you. Okay, I'll see you in 3 weeks. No, Marge the witch. No, you can send her on a quest. Did you want to hear the dialogue? Homer is addicted to elixirs. We have to get more elixirs for Homer. What was this conversation? And I wanted to like turn around and ask her, like, what are you playing? Is it like a Simpsons RPG on some weird message board? What are you doing? So I didn't, of course. I waited, and I Googled it later, and I did Simpsons fantasy game. You should never Google that. There's lots of weird things. So then I Googled Homer elixir, and then I just found out that this is all Simpsons tapped out. This whole conversation this woman was having with, I guess, her boyfriend was about features of Simpsons tapped out. A silly little tablet or phone game based around The Simpsons. And I'm just thinking, dang, these two people love this mobile game more than I think I have ever been invested in any single video game in my entire life. And I'm just thinking, man, that lady is a real loser.